Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the problems with Season 3 Curse of the Wandering Flames meta. This video analyzes Season 3 and the possible upcoming meta. Season 3 will introduce Magnamalo, Rajang, and Aknasam to Monster Hunter now. However, these new set of monsters carry a lot of problems with them. First off, we're going to start off with the Magnamalo weapons preview. So Magnamalo is the flagship monster of Monster Hunter Rise. What this means is that it's the big head honcho. It's on the cover page. It is amazing, and you're going to see it a lot in the Monster Hunter Rise story if you play it. Along with that, Magnamalo weapons in Monster Hunter Rise are blast elemental weapons. And it is very likely the Magnamalo weapons will have a wide availability, covering weapon types that do not have a blast element right now, like dual blades, and possibly the Gunlance. So yeah, dual blades and Gunlance might be getting their blast element weapons when Magnamalo releases, which is awesome, because you don't have to go after Teostra, and it's not an Elder Dragon. So yay, you don't have to spend those ultra hunting tickets to finally get the blast weapon if you've been wanting one, and you don't want to build the Teostra weapons. Moving on, we have Magnamalo versus Teostra meta pre-release analysis. While Magnamalo is certainly a fearsome and powerful monster, it is not an Elder Dragon. We just had an Elder Dragon release with Blast Element, and that's Teostra. Despite its iconic role in Monster Hunter Rise, Magnamalo belongs to the Fang Wyvern species. So again, it is not an Elder Dragon. While what I mentioned before, Teostra is an Elder Dragon. So Teostra blast weapons are likely going to be more powerful than Magnamalo's weapons. So this is what makes it really weird. Teostra is an Elder Dragon, so it's because of the effort it takes to build those weapons, it's going to be the most powerful ones. That's just a given. Unless somehow Magnamalo's weapons are just ungodly powerful, and they eclipse the Teostra weapons just like the Teostra light bowgun. We don't want to speak about that, because as a light bowgun user and a light bowgun main, yeah, the Teostra light bowgun is pretty dang terrible. And again, making the Magnamalo weapons stronger than Teostra would be a mistake and anger the players who worked hard to build their Teostra weapons and devalue them. It's very much like Kushala. Kushala is the most powerful ice type weapon, so for Blast, Teostra weapons would have to be more powerful, except for the light bowgun. And that brings us to Blast itself. Here's Blast in the status meta analysis. So here's the thing, Blast does not dominate the status meta. As you upgrade your blast weapons, you will start proccing less blast because your raw damage will do most of your overall damage. If you have been doing a lot of research into this, if you are an expert in this and you're not just trying to clickbait FOMO everyone to oblivion, you know that blast isn't that great, because blast does a 5% fixated damage, and again, as you upgrade it and it gets harder, gets higher, you're not going to do as much damage with blast because your raw damage is going to overtake it. In addition, you have to invest in Teostra armor to get Teostra blast powder or status sneak attack level 5. Both are expensive and time consuming. So you need the full set of Teostra armor, which is 3 pieces or 2 pieces for the bow, and even 2 pieces for the bow are really expensive. And if you're going to get the most out of your Teostra armor, you need to upgrade them to grade 8. And status sneak attack level 5 requires Paolumu Greaves, which doesn't have an event projected for those who did not participate in the July paid ticket event. You didn't buy the July paid ticket event, you're kind of locked out to getting status sneak attack level 5 until they finally decide to release Nightshade Paolumu onto the field. They said they would do it, but they haven't done it yet. With that in consideration, as someone that does have a full grade 8, all like 3 pieces of Kushala grade 8 and the Drift Smelt, it's really expensive. Really expensive. Even if we want to go drift smelting into it, it's just not possible right now because of how locked out Teostra is, and again, Nightshade Paolumu. So it is a very difficult thing to go after if you want the blast meta pieces. It's not cheap at all if you want to go after it. And this leads us to the blast dual blades analysis. As a dual blades main in the main series games since Monster Hunter 1, dual blades have status dual blades like Blast. So Blast does have poison dual blades, etc., paralysis, etc. for the other elements. It's just not out for dual blades because it would have to be balanced because dual blades do so many hits. Otherwise, they would be very overpowered. This is the same with Blast. If we put Blast DBs out in a Monster Hunter now, there has to be something done, because more hits equal more chance for status buildup, and you would just be proccing Blast like no tomorrow. Especially if you're an expert like the dual blades like I am, because I love the dual blades, and again, I'm a dual blades main. So you would have to balance the dual blades similar to the Nightshade Palumu light bowgun. The Nightshade Palumu light bowgun has sleep ammo, and it's able to inflict sleep faster than other weapon types. Literally 3 shots, or just 6 shots, depending on what build you have with it, are able to sleep a monster, which is way faster than the other sleep weapon types. So they would have to do this with dual blades, but instead of making it better, they would have to nerf it. So this would be the opposite for Blast dual blades, and they would have to make it harder to inflict Blast in order to balance Blast dual blades out. So yeah, you would get it. The problem is it might not be as fast or just the equivalent speed to the other weapon types just because it needs to be balanced. And this moves us on to the next big monster coming in Season 3, Rajang. And here we have a Rajang weapons preview. As you see, they are pretty beastly weapons, as Rajang is a terrifying large monster that first appeared in Monster Hunter 2. I remember downloading it, I forgot where and what, so that I could play it because it wasn't available in America. So later in the years, I downloaded and played it, and it was really cool, except for Rajang, because Rajang is annoying. But the Rajang weapons in Monster Hunter are Thunder Elemental weapons. This makes Rajang weapons interesting because Thunder is currently the most versatile element in Monster Hunter now. We have a lot of them, and it's pretty easy to get to Thunder Attack 5, and more on that later, but let's see if the Rajang weapons are going to Hulk smash your way to oblivion, just like how Rajang's gonna Hulk smash you before you're able to max out and build the Rajang weapons.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
That is one of my favorite scenes from the Avengers, but that's exactly how it's going to be when y'all take on Rajang next season. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. And I mean that in a very painful and sarcastic and dark kind of way, because you're gonna use a lot of healing items, including me, for making that guide. Anyways, here's the Thunder meta analysis. So along with Rajang, we're gonna have 5. But as of right now, Thunder has 4 monster types in Monster Hunter now. We have Tobi-Kadachi, Sisiaku, Kezu, and Zinogre. Thunder weapons also have the most available weapon types out of all the other elements. You have 2 full monster types with all weapon types available in Tobi-Kadachi and Zinogre without an Elder Dragon set. So this is the thing about Ice, is that Ice does have the same thing where you have 2 full monster types, but you need Kushala and Legiana to take into account for that. So that makes Thunder the most versatile, and it gives you the most options. In addition, Thunder also has the most flexible options to get Thunder Attack level 5. Thunder has been the undisputed status GOAT as giving you the biggest arsenal to make Thunder Attack or its respective element available at full power. So since the dawn of time, it's been getting a lot of these options, and it's cheap, and you can get to Thunder Attack level 5 in a lot of different ways. And this brings us to the Rajang versus Zinogre analysis. The Rajang weapons are in a weird place in the Thunder meta, because we already have Zinogre as the strongest Thunder element monster type in the game. Rajang might be one of the hardest monsters in the game to hunt that is not an Elder Dragon when it releases. It is going to likely be harder than Zinogre. As painful as Zinogre is, as someone that's going after the Zinogre gold medal, I've already gotten to a point where Zinogre is just super easy. And it's really, I can slay 8-star Zinogre in less than 30 seconds consistently and very easily. That's not going to be the same case when it comes to Rajang, because again, you're going to get Hulk smashed, grabbed, and abused all over the battlefield when Rajang releases. And that's what makes it kind of interesting. The Rajang weapon types are in a weird spot because they might be more powerful or equivalent to the Zinogre weapons. As mentioned before, Zinogre are the most powerful weapons. So inserting Rajang in there, they can't just make Zinogre not completely useless, but would you make the Rajang weapons more powerful than Zinogre? And along with that, even if they are better, are they worth building? because if you already have the Zinogre weapons built, it might not be resource or cost effective to make Rajang weapons. I already have a 10.5 Zinogre light bowgun maxed out. It has been my baby. I have literally gotten my light bowgun gold medal, killing over 1,000 Bazutsune and 200 plus Kushala. So more than half of my light bowgun medal is with some of the hardest. No, it's 2,000, right? Yeah. So over half of it is with the hardest, taking out the hardest monsters, some of the hardest monsters in Monster Hunter now. So since I already have that, and I already have a good thunder weapon, why am I going to build the Rajang weapons even if they're meta? It's not smart, and we're in a very weird place when Rajang comes out as far as its place in the thunder meta. Hopefully you are all excited for Season 3. I'm not covering Aknasom because its weapons are not likely going to be meta relevant. Rathalos is still going to be goated, as Aknasom weapons are fire. So, again, there's no way Aknasom is going to take over Rathalos. Maybe, I don't know, but they're not likely going to be meta. And Monster Hunter now is the hardest Monster Hunter game because it's an augmented reality game. You can't just sit at home to play, so consider your time investment to hunt these new monsters in the next update. That's why I'm putting that huge question mark about Zinogre versus Rajang weapons and whether or not you want to build blast weapons, because they're not going to be meta. They're not super oppressive, etc. So that's why consider that time. Yeah, the main series game. We all grew up in the main series games, or if you haven't, welcome the Monster Hunter, and you should definitely play the main series games. But you just can't sit on your butt and pretend you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a huge expert at Monster Hunter now because I sit on my butt and play the main series games all day. No, if you don't have a high level at Monster Hunter now, you're not at high level in Monster Hunter now. You have experience and drawing from the main series games, but you don't have an experience from an augmented reality game, just like if we would consider Pokemon Go. I'm a hardcore former Pokemon Go player. I've done thousands of raids, I'm level 50. If you want level 50 in Pokemon Go, you have no idea how hard an augmented reality game is as far as the grind goes, because level 50 is insanely hard to get in Pokemon Go. But yeah, it's AR. And I'm saying this because it is difficult. As someone that knows how it is, it's hard. Don't worry about it. Consider what you're going to get and go for in the next updates. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Again, this is going to be very difficult. These two monsters, Magnamalo and Rajang, are pretty dang cool, but they're also going to be really dang hard. So instead of sitting outside in the pouring rain for 2 minutes at a time trying to wipe every second or cart, you might want to consider, hey, these might not just be worth it. But again, that's up to you. Good luck on your drops, good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.